This is the Iowa Weather Report for Wednesday, January 29th, 2014. And now our first look at the 0Z GFS model run. This is at noon today. We have a trough and a shortwave moving across the east. Still a bit of a northwesterly flow aloft, but it's more out of southern Canada and not straight out of the North Pole, so temperatures will start to increase slightly today into the teens, 20s, and 30s across the area as winds turn southwesterly with plenty of sunshine around, so it'll feel a little bit better than it has been. But then another system comes in here on Thursday, and that could bring us some light snow, maybe an inch or so across the area, with highs remaining in the teens north to lower to mid-30s in the south. And then that pushes off to the south and east here on Friday. We could see some lingering flurries early in the day in the far southeast, otherwise slowly clearing and highs in the teens and 20s. And then as we move into Saturday, we have the next system moving in. This will bring us maybe another inch or two of snow, and nothing too significant with that at this point, but we'll continue to watch to see if this continues to change. And the readings continue even into Sunday to be in the teens and 20s across the area. Some precipitation down across the Gulf Coast, all in the form of rain this time, unlike the wintry weather they've been experiencing the last day or so. You can still see that in here on Monday to start the new work week. Some snow up in the mid-Atlantic, rain across the Carolinas down into the Gulf Coast. Around here, still fairly cool with highs in the teens and 20s, maybe around 30. And then that system to our south begins to get a little more moisture with it. Still mostly rain, maybe a little bit of ice and snow on the northern tier. That may extend into southern Iowa. But then most of that will get shunted off to the east and not northeast. So a week from today, next Wednesday, you see a shortwave moving through Minnesota and Wisconsin, another over the Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. That's going to take a lot of the precipitation and shunt it up the east coast and leave us just cold. Highs likely back down into the teens, maybe single digits, with relatively little, if any, activity. Going into the extended period, here on February the 9th, pretty much a broad, kind of a flat trough over the east, a flat ridge over the west, flow coming out of the west-northwest, maybe a little bit of light snow activity around here, nothing too big at this point. Storm off the east coast, another moving into the northwest. And at the end of the forecast on February the 13th, pretty much a zonal flow, bit of a wavy pattern, some energy moving into the Canadian Maritimes. And with this type pattern, we have some quick moving systems. We have another one beginning to gather over Colorado and Kansas. That could bring southerly winds. That could boost temperatures to near freezing, and that could also bring some precipitation in the form of freezing rain, ice, sleet, or even snow. Satellite image from last evening, you had the clouds over the Gulf Coast up the Atlantic coast, and that produced rain, snow, sleet, ice, a lot of wintry mess down there. Also some high and mid-level clouds over the northwest. The watch warning map from last evening, some winter storm warnings continue along the Gulf Coast and up the Atlantic coast. Wind chill advisories around the Great Lakes, and some wintry weather also across the northern Rockies and Pacific Northwest. The QPF chart, precipitation over the next 5 days through Sunday evening at 6 o'clock, showing the heaviest over the south, over the northwest and the Intermountain West, and around here maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch of liquid equivalent.